And hello to all my Leo friends, I'd like to welcome you in. My name is Scott Sagent, and today I'll be doing your free Psychic Tarot reading for May 2023. Now today they have dialed up for my great Leos a four-corner spread, and a four-corner spread is a great spread for these general readings because it looks at those four main areas that people usually ask about in tarot anyways. We're looking at the work corner, the financial money corner, the health corner, as well as the infamous love family corner. We're going to take a stroll through all four of them, guys, and see what is going on for Leo in the month of May, what to expect and what to avoid. Good information there. They've asked that I conclude your reading with a very fun one. I love doing animal totems, and this time we get to do two animal totems for my great Leos. So we're going to be talking about a transition from one animal, the characteristics, getting rid of those, and moving into the next animal, which is going to be the transition. So very interesting to see what animals come up for you. You never know what Spirit's going to throw at us either. I'm going to conclude your reading with the rune stone, which will tie a nice little bow around this project we call May 2023. So we're going to get started right now. Leo, the cards are already shuffled. I do that ahead of time to save us all a bunch of time. And now I'm going to bring you in the overhead so you can watch. I'd like to share my table with you and show you what I'm working with and what is going on. And now we should be on video. All right. So these are my ritual cuts. Now that we got the technical difficulties behind us, Leo, we can keep moving forward with your reading here. These are the ritual cuts, cutting them into thirds. Back together they go in a separate order, and that satisfies the ritual aspect of tarot. Same procedure for personal private readings, so it's just like you're here with me now, and of course you are. So here we go. First up here is Work Corner, and it's huge. Huge theme up there. I got a king card. I'm going to do that right now, actually. We're going to do a discard to see if this is the person or the energetic king, and they say energy, so that's just a discard here. Moving over here, this is Love Corner. Love Corner was short. I was going to say sweet. Yeah, kind of sweet. Then down here is Financial. Financial Money Corner. Coming in short and sweet there. And then over here in Health. Health is a big one. I'm going to kind of scoot this up to make some room. If for some reason this gets off of the camera, I will move it around at the end to make sure you see everything like I do, nice and clearly. The last thing that we need are Oracle Angel cards. You have two major Arcana cards that pulled, so those stories, or those corners, I should say, each get an Oracle Angel card. There we go. And we are ready, guys. Now it's just a matter of showing you. So we'll yank that off of here. That is work. Finance, love, and health. Let's get to work. Okay, Leo, where to begin here? Let's do your love first. I usually try to do love last, but it's a smaller deal for you guys this month. Whether that's good or bad is going to kind of depend on where you're at. But the message they start with is a very good one. Okay, it's a very good... the card, it really means that it's a connection between spirit world and earth world. So it's just saying like all things are just really good connectivity going on in the love corner. This can also indicate, this is a secondary definition, but it's a large purchase. A lot of you may be making big purchases for the family or with your loved one. It's like, hey, we're buying a car, a family minivan or something for the car, or for the family, I should say. Or we're buying a house for the family, or we're buying blank for the family or for somebody in the family. It could be a large purchase like that, but it could also just mean, hey, all things are rainbows, bubblegums, and butterflies right now. Like things are just in a good spot. Okay, now what they show next is that we're moving past a phase here that was either sickness, where it could actually mean that somebody in your family was sick or is sick, and now we're getting healthy. Okay, so that's the important thing, is that it's really behind us for the most part, but it's still a factor for whatever reason for a lot of my Leos. Okay, so whether that's you or somebody else, or if this just means kind of the mental sickness too, because we have swords. It's a 9 of swords on a flip, on an invert, and the mental suit means cerebral. It means that it's not always real. So this is kind of stress, anxiety. It can be all these things too. Circumstances that are just driving you haywire and you're all stressed out about it, and now you're kind of over that now. So now we're in a much smoother position. I was worried I put my hand in the candle and I did not, so that's good. Otherwise, I would be stressed myself. So that's what's going on here. So the love corner is relatively positive. There's not a whole lot of negativity there, because when even the negative card we have in there, they show that you're kind of beyond it and you're moving out of it. So very good check in there in the love corner. And let me just say for the singles tuning in, I know you guys kind of like look for this kind of stuff too. I would say that the ground is pretty nice for those kind of things in May if you're looking for love. Okay, and then for my coupled up ones, it's the same message. It's just contextually going to change. So the ground is still very ripe for you guys doing things with the family. Having a really good time, really good month. Okay, so checking in very good there. Let's move down, Leo, into health. Health is one of your big themes. And just notice I didn't check my inverts too much. Thankfully, it's a good distribution and I didn't need to. I do need to check that corner, though. So I'm going to do a discard just to check that one, and they do want it upright. So I'm going to, when I get to your work corner, I'm going to do a still shot for you and show it on the screen, since I showed it to you upside down a little bit before. So you'll see it in the correct way when we get there, don't worry. First is health. Health is going to stay exactly how it lays. So we have the Emperor card coming in first on an invert, on a block. So here they're saying, really got to get authoritative, Leo. A lot of my Leos are just like letting something go for too long. You got to be the boss here. You got to take charge of your health, and May is the time to do it, Leo. You got to exude that Leo ferociousness, that Leo lioness or lion, king of the jungle energy. That's really what is needed for health, okay? So really step this up, whether that means starting a diet, starting something for exercise, eating better, adding something to your diet like a supplement, taking something away like sugar, carbs. So whatever it is that you got going on here or planning to do, they're saying you got to get serious about doing something here. Cardio, it could be 100 different things. So what they show here is that if you do this, you're only dealing with little problems, only little stick fights. It's like the most mundane, simplest energy card Spirit could have given us. It's basically saying, like, I don't know what you're worried about. And that's why they're confused, I think. And that's why they're saying, hey, you got to like step the heck up here, because you're not like there's no downside to it. You have nothing to lose, long story short, and you can accomplish whatever you're trying to accomplish. They're showing there's only little things in your way. No big deal. You got it. It's good. Next thing they show here is 5 of Cups. So that shows you kind of looking at the downside of things. Hey, you know what? If I give up sugar, that means I can't get ice cream. And I just moved into an apartment right next door to the Dairy Queen, and I love Dairy Queen. Okay, so that is what's going on here. So you're in your own way. Okay, you're looking at the wrong way here. You need to be looking at all the good rewards that are right behind your perceptional change here, and not be looking at the bad side of things. Now, what they show here is soulmates, so that is something to consider, guys, when we're talking about health. This is something for the coupled up Leos that you guys can do together in a tandem. Is that joining a gym together? Is that going on walks? Whatever it is that you come up with something. Maybe some of you like to bike ride, maybe rollerblade, roller skate, go bowling, some kind of activity. Get moving around. Cardio is great for the lungs and the heart. It's kind of the all-encompassing thing. So that's what they show as soulmates. So there's something they want you to consider doing something here with another person. And keep in mind too that soulmates is not just for my coupled up. Of course, I have to start and lead that way. But you can have a soulmate who's a friend. Go join a gym with a friend, or go do blank with a friend. Okay, so there we go. Very good health corner, very empowering once you kind of take the power back for yourself. Now, before I get into work, I'm going to do finance, and then we're going to cut away for some moon cycles, and that is going to kind of line up very nicely to what we have here. But first, finances. Here's your money, guys. The first thing they're showing here is we have a kind of a business between 2 different spots coming in for money. So some of you are putting your money between 2 different things in a way that isn't really working so well. If you have a checking and a savings, and like the savings is just empty all the time, it doesn't really make sense. If I guess if it's free, it's okay. But if you're paying for something like that, of course it doesn't. So that can apply to credit cards and all kinds of different accounts too. So keep in mind that there's 2 of something here that needs to be turned around here. Something's not really working the way it's intended to be working here. They want you to consider what this is. This can also be a perceptive thing too. So if here he's looking at what's right in front of his face, missing the bigger picture, and here's the opposite. So they're saying here that a lot of you financially are looking way too big picture. You're planning for years down the road. You know what? You got to plan for this week. Let's keep it simple, guys. Leo, keep it simple. Let's plan for the week. what you're going to budget for the week, spend money on for the week. And then after that, let's, once you get used to that, expand it out into 2 weeks. Eventually you have a month. You don't got to be worrying about two years down the road from now. Are you crazy? You got to worry about what's in front of your face. That's what Spirit is saying. The next thing we show here is new money, new opportunities, new money coming in. And maybe that is why they're saying you need to do this. What's right in front of your face? Like, let's keep it simple. Maybe this new money is for a purpose. It has intention behind it. Maybe it's a new home. Some of you may be spending money on that. We talked about that in the big purchase with the Love Corner for the family. It could be related. This is the web that they weave. So we have new money coming in. It's a very nice omen, but at the same time, you got to be of the right mindset to do something responsible with it. So there we go. Now, before I get into your work corner, I do want to cut away to tell you about a few brand new things that are very exciting, as well as those moon cycles that's going to align to that, and something about a free reading, perhaps? I'll be right back. Okay, guys, it is moon cycle forecast time, but first I'm going to break order a little bit here because I'm just so excited about the new gemstone in the shop. I got to tell you about it first. I can't wait, and it is citrine. You notice I got citrine here on my work table here, my tarot table. I got raw citrine. I also have a piece of gemstone tumbled polished citrine. I love them both so much that I have them both here, but citrine is a must for business, for profession. If you have an office, a place of business, citrine is huge for that. A host of other great things too. Basically, clear quartz under different pressure becomes citrine, and under a different pressure becomes amethyst. So huge high vibration stone there. You're gonna see right here the different pictures of the citrine. They are large, just like my piece that's on the table here, the tumbled one, as well as the write-up. The write-up, I'm just going to go over it very quickly because I want you to go to the website and check it out. Check out the full scope of all the great things citrine does for your health, for spiritual health, for metaphysics, the whole lot. It's great for so many things, guys. Worth checking out. ScottSagent.com. While you're at ScottSagent.com, make sure you're signed up for the newsletter. We're going to be doing a free reading here very soon. Just, a little bird in my ear here telling you a little bit of advice ahead of time that there is a free reading coming. So if you know anybody interested in free readings, tell them to join the newsletter. Also, the newsletter sign up is free on the website, ScottSagent.com, on the bottom of every single page. So let's talk about that new product on the website. It is a huge one, guys. It is called Telling Time. More than likely, you've seen me do a Telling Time reading for your sign before. It comes up once in a while. Now, last month was huge. I did 4 telling times for the different signs, and they don't come up very much. So that's Spirit's way of saying, hey, you know what, Scott? We got to get telling time out there to the public, to the masses, get them on with this. Now, what is telling time good for? Telling time presents a window of opportunity for you within the next year. Usually it is set in the future, and it's Spirit's way of saying, hey, this is the best time to do this. So if you have a question with the word when in there, that is what telling time is good for. When should I sell my house? When should I start looking for a new job? When would be a good time for me to find true love? When is a good time for me to start a 401k? When is a telling time deal? That is available right now on the website, ScottSagent.com. I'll show you examples of that too. There's a link on there if you want to see more about telling time. But let's get those moon cycles, guys, because we have what is called a new moon. That is called a black moon coming in the month of May. But the first thing that hits, guys, is on May 5th, and that is our full moon. Most people view my videos right here, beginning of the month, May 1, 2, and 3. And if that's the case, and that's you are in that full moon energy right now, guys, and this is the best time in the entire month to get anything out of your life that you don't want there anymore at all, that you got to get rid of. Could be a person. You got to purge some people out of your life, some negativity. Maybe some of you got to sell something, finish up an old project, repurpose something. If it's got to go out of your life, kick a bad habit, doesn't matter what it is, but the full moon energy presents great opportunities to do such things. Adversely, we have that new moon energy that comes in kind of middle to late part of the month. That hits on the 19th, the apex there, but you don't have to do these things on the exact date. There is a flow of the tides going in. The tides coming in, tides coming out, but these are the moon cycles. So here is your new moon energy hitting on the 19th, but pretty much a week around there is the greatest time to bring things in to your life. If you're trying to attract it, you're trying to get a new job, you're trying to bring in new money, you're trying to bring in new love. If the word new is attached to it, new health. New moon. Very easy to remember in that way. It is called the black moon because it's the third new moon in the season. It's a little slang there. It's called the black moon. And of course, the new moon is the absence of the moon, so it makes sense. So that is the moon cycles. What's going on? Brand new products in the shop. I'm very excited about. You guys got to check it all out when you can, when you find time. Make your way over to the website. But let's get back to your reading. Okay, Leo, I am back for that work corner, that big, huge theme, and I'm going to show you those cards, because remember I had to flip a few of them around the other way. Spirit wanted to upright them all, so here is the cards, just so you can see them for a few minutes while I talk about them, more like 30 seconds. But here we go. So we got the star card coming in first. This is wish fulfillment coming in the work corner, so this is letting you know that there is some momentum and fate going on here. That is just bigger picture. It's less about your choices and more about just what you got coming to you. Maybe it's a promotion. Maybe it's leaving a job, finding something better. Maybe it's something else. Maybe it's going back to school. The work corner is a big area of life here. Work, business, enterprise, area of study, collegiate courses, retirement if you're of that age. Entrepreneurship, for most people, the JOB, but it changes for different people. Now, they show that there is an authoritative push that you guys are doing good with. That is what that king represents right there. It's saying that you've done the work. You know the knowledge. You have the training done, or whatever the certification is that you need for what you're trying to do in that work corner. It's checked off. Like the box is checked. You're good. However, you need to keep that up. You need to keep doing that same authoritative push. You can't just be like, all right, well, I'm just going to take a week of a break here and not really try. I'm going to go from no motivation Monday into like take it easy Tuesday, and you know what I mean? Like, you can't do that. They're saying here that you got to keep pushing with work. Keep pushing, keep pushing. Maybe it's because of this momentum of what is coming. They also show taking care of your people. So some of you are really good at like nursing type of stuff or taking care of others. Spirit wants you to consider those kind of jobs. It can also be like preacher type stuff as far as religious type push, and it can also be doing things the right way. So they're saying if you're any kind of work that you are doing, it needs to be by the book. It needs to be correctly, like no cutting corners, no cheating, no nothing, no shady business. This has got to be no toxicity. This has got to be very, very good. Very, very good and pure. Pure is a good word. So the last thing that they show here is the Yang card. You're probably wondering what that was all about. That's kind of like my masculine card. My blue energy, boy, blue, man energy. And this is basically saying, hey, it's showing two hands like giving a present. And that's like if you think of like body parts, the men give and the women take. Well, in this case here, it's saying here is opportunity that is being given to your work corner in these two hands and the little fireball above it, right? So they're saying also to be a little bit forceful. Masculine energy is more forceful than submissive, okay? It's kind of going after it a little bit, a little offensive, a little more logical than emotion. These are all things to consider for your work corner because we have that big star, okay? That is the big momentum, like the snowball effect of things that are just due to you. This is like all the work you put into something is about to come back or get you to the next phase, or kind of depending on where you're at or what you're trying to do. It's a very empowering thing. And Spirit has given you a few tools to apply to help that along just a little bit better. So let's grab your rune stone, guys. Then we're going to get into those animal totems. These are already mixed up, but I'll give them one more swirl. And here comes the rune stone for Leo. It's going to be this one right here, which makes sense. Hold it the right way. This is the rune stone of growth. We have growth. Sometimes growth can be slow, guys. You got to remember, sometimes you got to be a little patient. But we have growth popping in all over the place. You can really see it quite easily. We have growth up there in the love corner with the new purchase, or getting over sickness, or getting over whatever mind tricks that you were doing on yourself, or speed bumps or anything like that. So growth. Remember, give yourself time to grow too. Don't expect huge things from yourself. Be easy on yourself. Growth down there in the health corner is getting the authoritative push back, taking control, getting growth back there, because I think for a lot of you Leos, it has been too long. Getting growth up there in the job, I mean, that's pretty obvious. We just talked about that in a pretty strong way. So growth there is, there's more that you can do. There's further ways that you can advance. Growth down there in the finance, they're talking about something in front of your face they do not want you to miss for the life of you. So that we got growth there with new money. So there we go. Good runestone to complete your reading, except for these animal totems. Let's grab them now. We got two of them, and I can do those too. I do believe I need to consult with my sheet because there's so many animal totems. Like 80 to 100, I think I really need to count them to get an exact number. I'll have that for you next month if you get an animal totem. Okay, so the first animal that we are moving out of a ladybug. Moving out of ladybug energy. And we are moving into, oh my goodness, we are moving into hyena. So completely different animals moving out of the ladybug into the hyena. First of all, the ladybug it's a beetle, so it has its shell. Of course, it's very pretty, and the hyena is not. Okay, so they're saying, hey, you know what? It's not the time to be worried about cosmetics in the month of May. It's not the time to, go buy a new wardrobe. Stuff like that. If you're buying a car, okay, it's got a little scratch on it, okay, it's not the time to be worrying about cosmetics. So you can kind of see a few different examples of that, moving away from the pretty. But also the hard shell. It's a beetle still. I know it's not the hardest shell there is, but it is a shell. So it's saying here you can remove your shell and just laugh a little bit. That's what the hyena does. Of course, he's a little bit of annoying, bothersome guy, but that's okay because this is the month for you to do that. You can be a little annoying. It's okay, Leo, in the month of May. So what else between insect into a completely carnivorous mammal? Well, so many different things. And off the top of my head, very, very tough, which is why I have this little box above my head that I'm going to fill in stuff. More than likely, this is going to be one of those readings because we have two animal totems that are completely different from each other. So I'm going to make good utilization of the text above my head. But to wrap up, at least the first initiation of like what I feel like innately about ladybug into hyena is we're moving from a creature with flight into a creature that's grounded. Okay, even though it's not, like I said, it's not the best, it's not the prettiest, it's not the greatest flying machine, and it's not the hardest shell, but it does all those things very well. It's not the time to worry about that kind of stuff in the month of May. This is the time to have fun, be with your family. The hyena is extremely communal. They rely on each other. One hyena out on its own does very, very bad. Any kind of African nature show will show you that. So that is the push with everything else above my head, which I feel like will be quite a bit. So that is going to wrap up a very interesting animal totem for my Leos, and especially since you guys are lions. So we got the hyena jumping in there. So that wraps us up, guys. Been a very interesting reading. Thank you so much. Please remember to like and subscribe so you see the future readings. Have a great May, and I'll talk to you soon.